you've prayed, right? So you wake up in the morning, you pray, you're in your affirmations, maybe you're drinking your tea or your hot water or cold water, whatever you choose to drink. What's happening, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is Sister Oz. Today I'm tackling a very unpopular subject because everybody is conscious, getting woke, and all of these things. People are forgetting or wanting to throw away spiritual structures or spiritual institutions that have a very important role to play. I want to talk about your relationship with yourself or your relationship with God. And today's Sunday, and I just had the thought, like, given that a lot of people observe Sunday, my background is more into observing Saturday, so yesterday was my break, so I'm using Sunday as, so your relationship with God, like firstly, or your relationship with yourself. But firstly, I want to preface this by saying I understand that the religious structures or the religious institutions that exist today have been corrupted, mostly by men who have no intentions of developing the feminine or the divine feminine. Maybe didn't understand it or didn't take the time to do that. I'm here to fill in that gap and to say that throwing things away is not necessarily the best option, especially when you don't have anything to replace it with, which is why we're seeing all this. The young people, oh my God, I feel so scared. So I know for a fact that Christianity, the world wasn't born or the world wasn't formed and then Christianity happened the next day. No. Somebody had to come with it. Somebody had to, it was people who had a message, so people had the ability to create things and to start things. Why can't we do that in this time? And I like the witch movement, and I like the voodoo movement. It's very beautiful, and I like the fact that it's focusing on the divine feminine, which is something that the world has always wanted to shun, especially within the religious field, and I'm gonna make a video about, and I do have a video about why I feel we should not throw away religion, and I'll link it in the description bar. I don't understand. Instead of throwing things away, we need to find ways to restructure, maybe rethink, and then use it to benefit us, So I'm not gonna go on that rant because I feel I am very passionate about the things I talk about because it's not things that I just say because I want views. It's things that I know have value, especially within the divine or the development of the journey of the divine feminine. Anybody who's really serious about developing that, I am here for that, and I want to grow with anybody. Link me if you're my tribe. I love my tribe. So the relationship with yourself or the relationship with God, and I'll choose to use because it has more power when I use the term God, because it's a very deep concept, and I do play around with that concept a lot, especially I do talk about the Black woman is God, and I did make a video, and I feel like maybe the video didn't make sense in the sense that people always take everything, and it's men, because men are very competitive. Like it always comes across as if this is not like this, it cannot be in another way. So immediately I say the Black woman is God. People ask me, then what about men? What about guys? The Black woman is God because I am a Black woman. I cannot say the Black man is God and I know my superpowers. So anyway, I'm not there. So I use that term God just for control. Just for effect. So you'll see me looking this side, my notes are this side. So in order for you to actually develop your intuition or your superpowers or your spirituality, you need to do these things every day with no fail. Doesn't matter if you choose to work out a routine, if you choose to work out a schedule, but try by all means to incorporate these things every day. Other things are just, it's just, especially the last point, it's it's doable things. It's things that you don't even have to think about if you're a good person. And if you're not a good person, develop your ethical or your moral fiber. I don't know why, maybe parents and stuff like that. And then again, certain things are relative, but if whatever your actions are hurting humanity, be it animals, be it human beings, I deem it as not good. So I understand all these broad things and the spiritual people wanting to justify everything because information error confusing us, but I digress. The first point that I want to highlight is prayer. And I know when we talk about religion or God, the first thing that people do think about is prayer. And I also want to say that given that everybody is now turning to being secular, which is something I would never be, because everybody's turning into being secular now, everybody wants to shun certain terms because they want to sound innovative. But I'm here to say that affirmations and prayer is the same thing, like in my book, because you just affirming, you just actualizing. And I'm not for prayer that is begging. I don't understand why people have to beg. I feel like people have to speak things into existence. Even if you're praying, speak it into existence. Even if you're talking to your God, let your God, which is your internal you, that inner voice, that intuition, speak with conviction. Don't come and beg. Don't beg. You deserve anything. The fact that you thought about it, the universe will shape shift to bring that to you if you speak it enough into existence. Create it, and we're going to go through the list of how to create it beyond just speaking it into existence, right? So this is the first thing, you speaking it, which is the sound, making use of the sound, and they call it prayer. And these days the children or the youth want to call it affirmations. I'm all for affirmations, posting them around the house. I have affirmations everywhere. I affirm. I love affirmations. As much, you can never affirm enough. In prayer, it could be what I do for prayer. For instance, I go outside, especially under the moon. I love the moon, and I do that like anytime from 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. I prefer those times to do my spirit works. I just, because it's my way of life, I just incorporate everything throughout the day. But more than anything, I like to tap in the morning. So tap in the morning and think about your vision and be relentless about actualizing your vision. So you will don't talk about anything else. Prayer or affirmations are about you. You cannot control anybody else. You can pray for other people maybe and wish them well and send positive energies and all those things for them, but you can't do anything beyond that. And that's why I feel people don't understand, which is the biggest question that I have as well about church. And I feel like church is very different from the concept of religion, but I don't want this video to be too long. So affirm, pray for yourself, for you, for your journey, for your mission, for your vision, nothing else. You can't even do it for your children. You cannot even do it for, I don't want to lie. If you want to enhance something that you're doing for your children, but don't think that you can circumvent somebody's thought, because they already have their own thought processes. You don't know what it is that they're creating for their world. You can have a good intention of wanting to love and protect and to create something, but there's only so far, right? So visualize. So I just touched a bit on visualize. The second point is visualize. I touched a bit on the visualize and the first point because I want to highlight the fact that prayer should be, or affirmations should be, they should be like an anchor. They should be like they should be reinforcing your vision, right? So I have a vision board, for instance, in my bedroom. I try to look at my vision board as often as I can. The more I walk into the bedroom, I look at it. When I wake up in the morning, I look at it, so I understand all of the things that I want to do are there. Structure your visions as well. So you can try to have short-term, medium-term, and long-term visions, and try to work with those. Try to, whether you do a routine, a schedule, however you work. I'm saying those things because that's what I do. I'm very big on scheduling. I'm very, very big, and I'm very big on planning. I love planning. I'm a one-note journaling lady. So when you visualize, be able to structure that and see it so much, see it in your mind, in however way you imagine, use your imagination, see it, and then if you see it in your mind, and then you reaffirm it with the first point, which is prayer or affirmations, you're on your way for great things. And then the third thing is to meditate. So after you've prayed, right? So you wake up in the morning, you pray, you're in your affirmations, maybe you're drinking your tea or your hot water, or cold water, whatever you choose to drink as you wake your body up to try to begin a new day. You vocalize, right? And then you visualize, right? And then you sit down and then you meditate. You could do this, everything all at once, which is you starting with the praying or the affirmations, and then you go with the visualizations, and then you meditate. And then what you're doing when you're meditating, you are listening to your inner voice. Then this is how then the relationship with your God or with yourself gets enhanced, because from what you're saying, and if you're vibrating at a high frequency enough, there's no way that you will miss it. You will always hear the voice is loud. Especially for women, the voice is very loud because you also have the voice of the womb. So you can work with the voice of the womb as well. Now, after you meditate, you then journal. Get into the business of journaling. Journaling is life, I have a journal everywhere. I'm trying to find the closest one. I have a journal everywhere. It's on the other, that side. Journal. I love journals. Sometimes I keep them with an intention of finishing the other one. It's a bad habit, but it's just to show that I love journaling so much. So you listened, right? And immediately you're done with your meditation, you write down your thoughts, and use your intuition. Even if it's something that you feel, if write it down. If you feel that, whatever it is, don't limit yourself. Do not limit yourself. Allow your inner child to soar, because us adults have been hurt or have lived in this world so long that we're forgetting to be whimsical, and we're forgetting that there's real magic in this universe, and we're forgetting all these beautiful things about this world. We need to not stop. We need to just soar. You believe firstly that there's nothing that is greater than you, and believe that no matter what your challenges are or however your life was, believe that. So you did the journal. So I'd also, even the journal point, I would like to highlight that when you're dreaming, you could also have a journal by your bedside. When you're dreaming, the first thing you do when you wake up is to journal if you want to remember your dreams. I also advise journaling for shadow work. I'm a big fan of shadow work, and if anybody would like to hear more about shadow work, please let me know. I'm more than willing to speak on shadow work, because shadow work is life. So you can use journaling for a lot of things, but in this instance, because we're talking about the relationship with God or the relationship with yourself, I just want to focus it on that, but I just wanted to highlight to just show how else you could use a journal beyond just writing secrets. Then the last point is ma'at. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of ma'at. It is similar to the 10 commandments in the Bible, but this time there's 40 of them. It's like a way of life. It's 42. There's 42 declarations like that you say in the morning. But so my point is, I wanted to touch on Ma'at just to show how I use my spiritual my spiritual structures, my spiritual principles, right? We can have different spiritual structures and different spiritual principles and institutions and houses, you know, whether it's Catholic, whether it's whatever, you know, Islam, Jewish, whatever, Hebrew, Israelite, whatever. I choose to move with Ma'at or Ubuntu, you know. For me, that's what I choose, and I don't want to go deeper into it because I understand that people are so lazy these days that the first thing they hear when they hear somebody talking about something and them explaining it, they want to also assimilate that. I've seen this with the orishas and everything. It's happening, you know. So just, yeah, I wanted to highlight that have a structure, like spiritual structures or principles that you use to guide yourself. I use the principles of Ma'at. Another video, a separate video about Ma'at, just expressing everything about Ma'at because there's a lot. I don't wanna make this video longer than it already is. So like those are the 5 pointers that I felt have helped me to develop the relationship with myself. I trust myself so much. And I know that it was a process. That's why I speak so much on the importance of spiritual structures or so-called religions, because it is a process. And as you grow the more you grow as a human being, physically or biochemically, the more you go physically, the more you also need to meet or match that with the spiritual and the emotional growth. So for me, I'm an advocate for that because I've been doing nothing but growing, you know, in my adult life, and I feel it's a beautiful thing, and I would like to share this beauty with other human beings who are also on this journey of developing their spiritual the spiritual self, you know, and to also show that there's more to the spiritual structures than just these catchphrases of people being witches or reading tarot cards and stuff like that. We can also just choose to have the grounded form of like spiritual structures, you know. Whether you make up your own, I'm making up my own. I'm all about that. I don't care about anybody else's things. I am doing my own things, and I am living. I'm living and experiencing and trialing and erroring my own spiritual structures based upon what works for me, you know. I chose Ma'at, I chose Ubuntu. It just makes sense, and I take it from there, you know, and I develop everything from there, you know. My soul reaches understands certain things, and whatever it is that I vibe with, I take that into consideration. Alright, so this video was very long. I didn't want it to be this long, so thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Catch you on the next video. Bye out.